We are live, Coach Bryant.
Yeah, we own every little nick and nanny. We got to check the knickers and the nannies.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hits and Heels. It's another Wednesday night, and you are here with the Bryant's coach, Terri Bryant, and Coach Bryant. And we live in Lexington, Kentucky, and we are home of the University of Kentucky Wildcats, where he is alum, and our son is a starting safety. So we
Starting safety.
So today's episode is
hold up.
Wait. Today's episode we're bringing on the legend, but before we get on to the legend, hey Kelly, how about them Cowboys?
Okay, we gotta wish our son.
Gotta wish our baby a happy birthday.
He turned 21.
Yeah.
Okay, she wipes my face off in front of everybody.
I can't have my baby on the camera looking all crazy. Happy birthday, 21st birthday to our baby.
Ty Bryant.
Ty P turned 21 on Monday, and we are so excited. I can't believe that baby's already 21.
It's a great thing, and then it's a double dose because we were talking to the daughter today, Jay, who lives in Chicago. And she's doing her thing as well. And I want to say hi to her. But again, happy birthday to Ty Bryant.
Yeah. And shout out to our big baby.
Big baby.
Jay.
And don't forget about BJ. Baby Jay.
Our niece.
Our niece. Come on now.
Gotcha.
Don't forget about our niece.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Kelly, for being on. You know, Kelly's one of my girls because she's a Cowboys fan. And
Kelly got it.
And me, Kelly, and Tiffany, I think, are going to pull up our Tuesday recap of the Dallas Cowboys. Be quiet.
In the last 30 years. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I heard your 49ers is all injured again. So I'm not being ready to play with you about my Cowboys. So anyway, so let's get this on. So tomorrow, Coach Bryant, is our first game of the season, 7.
At Crawford, just coming out, getting ready to play with another brand new team. We don't come up. We just we reload, and so I'm excited to see our kids. Unfortunately, we did not get the opportunity to. What do you mean? Tell them, sis. Did not get the opportunity to. Sorry, guys. To have a scrimmage. So this is going to be our first real physical contact, but our guys are ready. They're ready to do more than just hit each other. And so it's going to be exciting to watch. And my baby here is my offensive coordinator, and it's not a this or that. She knows football, and I keep telling people that. So now they're going to know. I didn't have to go look for another offensive coordinator. Our numbers are way down based on the new school, which I'm wearing. The coach Hollering, who's one of my good friends, he's coming to my house tomorrow. So with that said, is our house, you lose, you go home. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. I mean, we've only lost one time, and it was a fluke.
It was a big time. And when we had the opportunity to play them again, and we our boys there. And
it was a different story.
So, but with that said, we are looking forward to see what certain players on our team do and shine and do what they're supposed to do, because we're gonna put them in the right spots. I got a compliment about that today, and I appreciate that. So, tomorrow, first big game. It'll be at Crawford at 6:00. Please come out and support. We're middle school. We ain't got no money, so we need your money.
And we ain't got time to be fundraising either.
I ain't got time.
Don't have time to do it. So I think this is the last week of preseason. This is the last week of preseason, right?
Preseason.
For NFL?
What?
Of course you don't know because you don't watch preseason, but I think this is the last week of preseason NFL.
Okay.
And
last
then
week of preseason.
And then we hit the ground running, and then we are what's the day, the 20th, and we're 10 days away from UK football's first game.
Yeah, they played who they played? Who they play?
Toledo.
Toledo. And Toledo recruited Ty.
They did.
And they recruited him very heavy. And they I mean, they're a good team. If we switch the subject a little bit. Very good team, plays everybody very well. Played D1 schedule on the first two schedules. So, UK's got to come out and they got to play a little bit and show them why the SEC is the SEC. So, and that takes place at Kroger Field at 6 p.m. 12 p.m.
Okay.
6 p.m.
Because it is an early game, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of our game at 6 p.m. on tomorrow.
Right.
So that's going to be exciting. Also, high school football kicks up this coming weekend. That's exciting.
That's exciting. And it's not preseason, right? It's regular season. And you have your debut on the air, Coach Bryant?
Yeah, with Gala. I will be at Lafayette. And what is their stadium called? And I forget. I apologize.
I don't know what.
Okay,
what
but I will be at Lafayette High School as Lafayette is fortunate to. The first game will be Lafayette against Collins. Be a very good game, and then the second game in Henry Clay with their 90 players that I just saw. Good job, Coach Hawkins. 90 players that they got at Henry Clay, and they take on North Odom. So that's going to be my first game to do, and I'm excited about it. I've got a good group, and it's going to be a little bit different being behind the mic and not on the field or wearing a white hat. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a different look.
Okay, well, I see Jen, but Jen, I don't see your mic or your camera. I can't see you. So we'll see whether or not we can get you going live here in a second, and we'll bring you on. See if hopefully we won't be having any technical. It's like we'll have one or two good shows, and then we'll have technical issues out of the blue.
You can't even say it.
I know I can't even say technical issues out of the right. Okay, so our last game is Friday, and you said you was focusing on secondary game management and Mozzie Smith. Is he getting signed? Yeah, I don't know. So I know you haven't watched any of the preseason, but I think that the teams start getting
down to
the roster, to the roster limits. Yes.
And the NFL is something I always want to say and communicate with her on your phone.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, it's something I want to say. The NFL is different, guys. If you don't know that, just ask somebody. One person that I really, and if you know him, I don't know if he listened to our show or not. He's a good friend, and our schedules are not the same, and that is Minifield. Frank Minifield. I would love to have him on because he is part of that chapter of the NFL here in Lexington. And the NFL is different. You can be a top-ranked player and not make the NFL.
Yes.
It ain't always the best players go to the NFL.
Yes, sometimes it's just a fit, or you just can't beat out the one, the two, or the three.
Right. I mean, or they don't want to pay you.
Or they don't want to pay you.
Okay, because I say this all the time. A good friend played with him in UK, former Bryant Station, also a Laashof inductee is Mark Logan.
Yes.
Mark Logan, how you get cut from the Bengals and the Browns and go to the 49ers and win a Super Bowl with a ring. He can play. He was good.
Yeah.
And it's all about a number because he was probably very close to the starter. Yeah. So you got to pay him starting money. And that's what people don't understand. That's the NFL.
The business of sports is really difficult because even now that kids are dealing with NIL and all the revenue share and all that type of stuff, we're learning that it's a business and having to learn the business part of it. Thankful we're kind of getting a touch of it now before he goes pro, so that we can we don't get caught with no surprises and we're not in our feelings about stuff.
It's like you're not. There's nothing can get you ready for it.
Nothing.
Because you're in Pee-wee football, then you're in middle school football, then you're in high school football. And, college is now changed. But with that said, is nothing gets you ready for the NFL. Nothing gets you ready for business.
Right.
Because it's all about you just out there having fun and doing your thing. And so we've learned a lot, right?
Yes.
NIL and negotiation and who gets paid this amount. And if I had as much money as Miss Jones, we wouldn't have to worry about all.
So y'all, so now that we're getting ready to transition, our guest has arrived, and we're getting ready to bring her on.
I did. And I did transition.
Yeah, you transitioned just fine. And so one of our dear projects that we are involved in is the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. And actually, if you look on the bottom right there, they are our primary sponsor, and they've been sponsoring us almost from day one since we started the podcast. And so we're getting ready to bring on the co-founder because, we in 20 days, 30 days from today, I think 30 days from today or 30 days from tomorrow is our 4th annual gala. And so, Jen, we get ready to bring you on, and we appreciate you being available for us tonight. Thank you for being on. Good. How you doing?
How you doing? Doing all right.
Where's Robert Montgomery Knight at?
He's chilling in his man cave right now.
His man cave. Okay. Yeah. I had to say something. I tried to call him. He didn't pick up.
I know.
But real talk. Thank you for coming on. This is the reason why I'm gonna say this, and then Coach Bryant, she will probably ask you more questions than I will, but it's sort of like the reason why we wanted you on, and I know we gave you very short notice, is because, okay, you and your husband and Connie can promote this better than anyone. And it's sort of like nobody can promote something that I'm passionate in when I started. That's why we wanted you on. Because it's a big deal, and we can talk about it, but y'all can talk about it and be about it, if that makes sense. And that's why we wanted y'all both on, and I hope he does come on. I really mean that. I don't mean no disrespect, but it's sort of like, we're very close of getting everybody in Lexington and surrounding areas to buy in to this, what y'all created. And because I'm out there, that I coach, I do this and that, and everybody's talking about it, but they're going, yeah. Now what's it about again? Because they keep thinking it's the NFL Hall of Fame. They think it's that type of Hall of Fame, and it is in somewhat. It is recognition of the hard work that people do that people don't see. So I don't know. It wasn't a question in there. It was just a statement. So.
Point well taken. And we appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk with you all. You all are wonderful ambassadors for Laashof. So we can't thank you all enough for just always getting the word out and just always being promoters for what we're trying to do here in Lexington. Really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. We're always thankful that we were able to be on the founding board with getting everything started. I think I talk about it to one of my mentors that the reason why I love you so much is that it's not too many times where someone has a vision as large as this and then execute it.
This is true. It was God just truly dropped this in Bobby's spirit, and he just kept talking about it and kept talking about it. And we would lay out scenarios, and we'd run it by our girls, and they're like, "Y'all need to do this. Just go ahead and do it." And then they were really the catalyst to get us over the hump. And we started off. Here's what we were gonna do. We were gonna make our webpage first. And we didn't have anything to put on it. It's like, well, okay, we got a webpage. What are we going to put on it now? So, coming from an educator's background, we didn't have this type of experience, but we knew it was something that was needed. And thankfully, God didn't let us let it go. He kept pushing us and kept pushing us and kept bringing people to us until this is something we had to do, whether we wanted to or not. We did want to, but this is something we had to do. And for whatever reason, 2020 was the time to get started. The right people were in place, the right places were in place, the right inductees and founding team members. It took all of that to get us to where we are today. So we're just grateful that God's using us to be a blessing to somebody else.
Wow. Well, I have a question based on what you just said, and getting it started. Okay, with you and your husband and a few people in your circle, your family.
Hmm.
So my question on the floor is, I mean, you was walking down the street and just like gravity, it just hits you in the head, or because this is big. This is not something that I'm thinking about. Penicillin was an oops. It wasn't. They set out to do penicillin. It was an accident and it happened and it saves people's lives. And this has brought joy to people's lives. So was it somebody didn't get into the KSSA Hall of Fame that started the wheel rolling, or you see, does that question make sense? Because this is big. This is not a small thing. This is something that's very special, and so I'm just very
What
curious from the beginning what
was the
made that
initial
thought
spark?
process.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Bobby's been blessed with natural ability, and he had been inducted into Morehead State's Hall of Fame for sports, and also in the Kentucky coaches in track and field, and cross country. I can't remember what all the letters stand for. Into those
right.
halls of fame, and he knew people he competed with and against, and people at his alma mater that hadn't been recognized there, nor at with the track coaches Hall of Fame. So he started researching the KHSAA as well, and saw the number of elite level athletes that had come out of Lexington that weren't even in the KHSAA, and it just weighed heavily on him. And
Wow.
he almost felt guilty for being awarded when he knew so many other
Really?
people
Wow.
were just as deserving, if not even more so. So, that's literally how it started, from those two blessings that he received. And he's like, well, other people need this blessing too. I know there are other people. And just from that, that thought that came in his mind, and we were sitting in the bed one Saturday morning, just brainstorming, people that we thought would go in at some point, and who could help, and all those things, what it would be like. And he started really big from the beginning. This was,
Wow.
no, we're going to build up, and we're going to start here. And no, he wanted it to be top notch from the very beginning. And I think he's been trying to recreate the Hall of Fame experience that he wished he had. And
Wow.
he wants our inductees and our honorees to know just how special they are, and just to do the very, very best that we can to make them feel that way. And that's really how it started.
Wow. Wow. And I'm in Bobby's shoe because the lady to my right has been a support of me tremendously. So yourself, sometimes one person, male or female, can have a vision, the other person doesn't follow that vision.
Hmm.
And you've done that. And your family has done that. And that's amazing as well. So compliment to both of you, but because a lot of times I have a vision and she doesn't negative my vision. She can see it. And if she don't see it, she pretends like she sees it until she does. And I keep hearing what he did, but what you come up behind him and beside him and in front of him is done is equal as well.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And the blessing is that we both love sports, just all kinds of sports. His man cave is out in the garage where he is now. He watches all these YouTube videos, and he was watching. He found an old UK, I think it was a 1995-96 championship game, and then he found another game that actually Dirk Minifield was playing in. And he's like, "You got to come see this." I went to school with Dirk, so we're sitting out in this hot garage. He's rigged up a TV out there, and he's got a like an electric wheelchair that he sits in and rolls around the garage. And then he's got this video gaming chair I guess that's my seat. I said, you got up this seat game. I can't sit out here for long. But we were sitting there watching that game, and it was like throwback. It was real basketball. It was like, wow, they break down on defense. They shoot a real jumper at the top of the jump. It's really, really good to see that level of basketball again. And he's like, Jen, he said, who else has a wife that would sit out in the man cave with them and watch old basketball games? I said, boy, give me my props. Thank you very much.
Yes,
So those are just the
absolutely.
kind of crazy things we do. And that's something that we both enjoy. But I think had I not been, exposed to sports at a young age, and hadn't been married to a coach, and hadn't been exposed to coaches and all that, I wouldn't be as interested. But the blessing is that we both have that natural uh, proclivity and that interest in sports. So it made it kind of easy for me. And then growing up here in Lexington, these are people I idolized. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still blown away that Tyson Gay knows my name and I could call him up if I
that's
wanted.
right. That part.
That
Yes.
just is not even real. And so many others, that's just not real to me. I'm
Oh
just,
my gosh.
man,
And
yeah.
I'm just gonna say that because I text Dermani the other day. I was like, hey, no, I called and left him a message and was like, hey, can we reschedule? Because we were supposed to have him on earlier in the year. And then he had a trip because, he's always busy. Like he was just in Paris and now he just came back from Alaska. Then he's getting ready to go. He's not going to make the gala this year because he's got to go to Ireland or Dublin or somewhere because the Steelers are having something up there with a game and he's going to that. So he's not going to make the gala this year, but he's coming on next Wednesday. And then the Wednesday after that, I think T-Bone Shelby said that he could come on. And so, and it's people like that I absolutely am in awe that we could just pick up the phone and bring them on and have them talk about their experience with the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame when he already has a gold jacket. Like, I don't know how much better it can get from having a gold jacket from the NFL Hall of Fame, and then for him to accept his nomination here. And so I can't wait to talk to him about that. And then also with T-Bone Shelby with having two or three World Series rings, I think.
LA Blue.
And they're just so down to earth and they're from right here in Lexington. Yeah. So for you to be able to put those type of people together in the same room was just phenomenal for people like us that are just absolute sports nuts.
Yeah. And I think please go ahead, please.
No, I'm sorry. We were just honored because, it's like, okay, we could ask Dermani Dawson, but he's probably not going to come,
Right.
Gays all over, he's probably not going to come.
Yes.
They were just thrilled to come. And that totally blew us away because it's home. And, we watched them grow and we watched them succeed and just, bring so much pride and joy to us here in little old Lexington. But the fact that they would take the time to come back and, be celebrated by us just means the world to us. It really, really does.
Well, I that was a point I was about to make, and I apologize for stepping on you. But it's sort of like, knowing Damani, playing with Damani, we call him Dirty D, and all of a sudden when that moment came and I called him and he was ecstatic. And the same thing, I knew T-Bone and I met him and he knew my name. So I understand that, you know me, and because when I was coaching, he was like, yeah, you coach Bryant. And I went, hold up, this guy knows me. And,
Yeah.
And then sometimes you do forget because with all due respect, we do put them in a different level. And it's so beautiful to know that they don't put themselves up there. And I think that's the blessing. And so my statement is that my question to you, the first one we did, do you recall your feelings when y'all came and got on the stage and people were clapping and what did you feel like? What did Bobby say he felt like after that first time you did the gala?
Like what was y'all's conversation when y'all got home?
Yes.
We were so tired. I don't even remember. I'm just being honest with you.
It was late. It was late.
Okay, 2 days later.
It was. Yeah. But all the little things you have to think about, all the bells and whistles. I can do 30 kids in a classroom or, maybe, 50 or so in the gym, but I've never done 1,100 people, and they all showed up at once. We just trying to get y'all seated. Can y'all come on in, have a seat so we get started? And then it was really out of body. It was an out of body experience. And, I'm not a front and center person. I'm a behind the scenes kind of girl, but I've had to step up, in that role, and I've gotten more comfortable with it, but it's not natural for me. But to be able to do that and then be received as we have is just, it's just pure joy. It really is just pure joy.
Wow.
I know how we feel. It was a long night, but
It was
it was
a learning
a
night.
learning
It was a
experience,
learning night.
but it was an absolute great time.
Well, I'm going back. I'm going back to Damani, and this is real talk. We talked multiple times prior to this event. I call Dirty D anytime he calls me back. He's going to call me back. He's going to pick up the phone. He's always been that way. And the thing is, he got his jacket and all that. So we talked probably about 2 months after, because that's when I called him. I didn't call him early. I wanted other stuff to come in his mind. And I said, "So how was it?" He said, "Oh my gosh, to see people." Okay, he didn't say this, but this is how the wording I took from it. It is a whole lot easier for our people to forget who we are. Because I will never forget somebody making a statement about the Jackson Fives, and because they're from Gary, Indiana. So we knew their family being from now. And they were like, "They're not gonna make it. They're not that good. They da 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 da." And it's like a lot of times your hometown people don't realize who you are or don't recognize your talent. The people that don't know you give you more props. And what he loved was these are his peoples that he loved giving him his props. That's how Damani felt. And how they were showing him mad love. And so that's how Damani felt.
Well, I can't wait until next week when we can hear it straight from his mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna get nobody more, blessing than Damani Dawson. I'm sorry.
That is true. That is absolutely true. And the beauty of Lexington is, and this goes back to the old Douglas and old Dunbar. Those are the only two high schools, and if you were Black, you went to one of the two.
Right.
So, my mom graduated from Old Douglas in '57, and her class was still having reunions. Just into the 2000s, deep into the 2000s. But they had that closeness, so they knew each other's kids. Everybody in Lexington knows each other. It's really a big, small town. And
Right.
I think that aspect of it, which we lost some of that, which I regret, but that aspect of everybody knowing everybody, and the churches visited each other and the kids played together, I just think that made it more familial and made you want to root for the people because you went to school with them. Your
Yeah,
kids played together. And I think that was a big difference. And so with Dermani saying that, I've known Dermani since he was a younger kid,
yeah,
and watched him grow and his brothers. And then all of a sudden it's like, he's a superstar and I didn't even know it. It's like, I knew he was always big for his size, when he was younger, but it was like, oh wow, that's little Monty that we used to ride in the car, and
yeah,
blew me
yeah,
away. Yeah,
yeah. He's
yeah. So just,
another.
oh yeah, just
He's
been able
another.
to watch them grow, and it's just phenomenal.
Well, I feel the same way after playing with him. And this is the same person that did this, that, and the other. And you're sitting around playing spades, which he's not very good at spades. I'll let you know. If you have a chance to be his partner, don't be his partner. He's not good.
Well, we would both lose because I cannot play spades.
And when he got in the Hall of Fame, and we're not staying on the Monty Dawson moment, but it's a factor. He's part of Laashof and part of Lexingtonian. But I remember calling him, and like I said, 2 days later, and he picked up the phone. I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting him to pick up the phone. I was expecting me to get a message, send him a message. He sent me a text back saying thank you. And he picked up the phone and actually was talking to me. And I say that like, dang, he's talking to me. But again, that's Damani Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that. So, I guess my next question with Laashof, my question with Laashof is going to be, after you wasn't tired, a month went by before you start getting ready for number 2, going back to the wife's question, what did you and Bobby talk about? Because y'all had to talk about something like, we're not doing it this way. This was good. I'm just wondering, we trying to get deep.
Well, you should have asked me a little bit sooner because I'm rolling up on 63, so I don't remember stuff like I used to, Cisco. Come on
I'm
now.
right here.
Cut me
I'm right
some
here.
slack.
Hey, I understand. So we're gonna move on. Go ahead, baby.
No, no, no. But really, almost immediately, it was like, what can we do better next year? How can we
Okay.
make it even better, more efficient? And who else do we need to bring in? What can we do to make it a more, and I don't want to say a fan experience like with NFL or something, but how can we make it a better experience for the people coming and paying to come in and, support us and see what we do? Just really try to make it better every year. And that's still our goal. How can we just keep getting better at what we're doing? So that was the big thing. And, just reflecting on the people and how literally everybody came. There was not one person that we inducted and they accepted and did not show up. And that was the big thing for us. So
Mm-hmm.
just reflecting over, how well everything went, considering it was our first time, and we had some kinks and things that we're still working on. But just that, everyone, we got nothing but rave reviews other than the length. And we learned, we're getting better at that each year. We brought Erica Beatty on board and she's cracking that whip and we're getting stuff done.
She's cracking it.
Whoa.
Cracking that whip, but it's needed. It's much
Yes,
needed,
ma'am.
much more streamlined and efficient than we were before. So Cisco, that's about all I can remember other than just, floating on a cloud. And so we really did this, we actually were able to do this thanks to God and all the people that he put in our lives, like you all. So just blessed. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah. I mean, you said it.
Oh, you said it.
You said
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown said that Bobby was a renowned track star in Lexington, and track stars were just as popular as basketball players and football players in Lexington. Hey, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
He was all right. He was all right.
Oh, and he said that he'll be nominated. He's all right. He said he'll be nominating your Lafayette alum, Dallas Owens, who perhaps was the first Black UK player from Lexington to go to UK.
He is, Dallas is on our radar. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And and that's the thing. We still have so many people that we
Well,
haven't even reached yet. And we're doing the best we can. We can only do so many a year. And I know people
but
have questions about it,
yeah.
but the pool is just outrageous. The number of people that we have to even consider every year, and more coming each year.
Well, the thing is again, I commend you, and you've used the term that we guide by as our God and our Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. But is how patient you are with people that just comes up or makes a comment because this person ain't in and that person ain't in. See, I ain't there yet.
Ooh,
I'm praying.
we're both the
I'm not there yet.
when
Because let me tell you the real truth.
we the worst.
Yeah, you come up to me
And say
make a comment
anything negative about
Laashof, aka Bobby, Connie, Jen. You
We'll
get
hit
snapped on.
You getting snapped on.
You getting snapped on. And I'm not making that up. I mean, I get it a lot. And I'll be like, what's that? You're getting a little bit too familiar now. Calm your little self down. I said, don't let the cross fool you now. Don't let it fool you.
My response is we're always looking for people to come and help.
That's not my
and put in the work. So if you want to come and help and have some input on it, then feel free to come. I'll be happy to get No, I'm not that nice. I'll be happy to take down your information and refer you to the Joneses to see whether or not we can vet you to be able to come on board with the board, because we're always needing help. But if you're not willing to come and help, then you need to just be quiet, because what you're not getting ready to do is come and disrespect anything that we're doing with the Lexington African Americans.
And I'm gonna let you respond to this. See, mine ain't like that. I'm more like, what is the purpose of you walking up to me and saying that to me? I mean, what have you done?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like people that sits back here and feels like they have more comment about people that's up here. And so when you love people like we do y'all, and watch how much you grind, watch how much the work and time.
We do not play about them.
We're not playing. I mean, y'all have no idea my temperament is my wife tells me something's mentally wrong with me sometimes because I don't have a filter of understanding ignorance. I don't.
No
I
filter.
don't. I don't. I really don't. Like when people see me, they be like, "You don't say very. You chill." I'll talk your head off. I know you. If I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you. That's my personality. But if you say something about someone, and the word that we use in our household, it ain't love. It's not love. It's not love between us two. We have loyalty to each other. Loyalty and love is just a symbol. I mean, I've been in love so many times it don't matter. I love this cat, that dog, that ice cream truck, that food. But the things that I have loyalty to, I'm going to back it. And I have loyalty to my wife, Infinity, and I have loyalty to Laashof. So when you come up to Laashof and you say something, I don't care if I'm at West End, if I'm downtown, if we're in a tuxedo and she's in the town, or I'm in the park at the Shorts. If you come at me, you better come right when you talk about Laashof because I know what y'all do for Laashof.
We do not play when it comes to Laashof.
I'm not kidding you though. I mean, I get it every day because I'm out there all day long. Y'all know that. I mean, how many meetings I miss?
Well, we understand that though. And you know what? I'm glad you said that because we appreciate because you all out in the community way more than we are. We two old retired people. So, we're not out in the community as much. And you were in the sports world where Bobby has been a part of that for, the bulk of his career. But with him not coaching anymore, he's not out there either. So we know you all take the hit and we really appreciate it. My thing is, when someone asks a question like that, it means it's important to them. And Laashof is in their mouths and on their minds. So to me, that's a plus. I've learned how to let stuff roll, and I know that our intentions are right. Our hearts are in the right place. Do we get it wrong sometimes? Absolutely. Do we get it right more than not? Yes, we do. But it's nothing ever personal. It's nothing ever intentional where someone's purposefully being left out or anything like that. We go by that. We do the best we can with the information that we have. So I see that as it's a good burden to have. And then also, like I said, with y'all being out there, and I appreciate the hits that you take, but you don't have to defend us. They can call me. I've been saying, just give us a call, but they won't call. I think you all are safe because they know you.
It's like couch coaching.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say this again, Jennifer. It's not the point of taking a hit. It really isn't. I mean, because we're educated, grown people, so it's not about that. It is. I always have a problem with people that does less and has more of a mouth. Okay, I don't like people. It doesn't do it, Laashof. That's just me. You can't come to Crawford and don't tribute or give your time and help with our program and put your 2 cents in. I don't want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? We have some parents that, not many, because our parents at Crawford are fantastic. They really are. That's why we have a program now. But in the beginning, it was like, whoa, how come I ain't seen you help with anything with the food or the field or the, anything? Or, I haven't helped you. I don't want to hear from you. I don't. And so what I'm getting at is what y'all do, and all we ask of people is just to be respectful. A great man, Mr. Pastor Gaines, once said, telling somebody to shut up and telling somebody to please be quiet, they both mean don't talk. Okay, when people come at me as in shut up, I'm going to come back. If you come at me at please be quiet, that's the way you've just put it. Is it, which is the way you should come, because now you're asking a question and not throwing a personal attack at someone. And I hope that makes sense.
It did. I get that. Okay,
I'm gonna quit getting personal.
Okay, so Jennifer, we're 30 days away from our 4th gala. Tickets are on sale at laashof.com. But y'all only got 11 days and price, or is it 20 days? Wait a minute, no, 10 days and price go up.
They do on September 1. They go up
Price
significantly.
go up.
Yeah.
significantly go up. Yes.
Well, they're going
Mhm.
up where, to me, is that word shouldn't be used. They're going up the way it has to do to pay the bills. And what you're trying to get people to do is keep money in their pockets and get the tickets early. I mean,
Right.
that's the thing in the United States. If you buy them early, if I get a flight ticket on an airlines early, I'm gonna save money. If I
That's true.
wait till the last minute, I'm gonna pay a lot. And we've done that.
Well, we just need people to get their tickets because I know for the last three years, the week before the gala. By the way, tickets are no longer on sale. You got to get them a week before the actual gala, and then they're no longer available. But that last week for the last 3 years, Jennifer's phone is being blown up for people always trying to get tickets at the last minute, and it's distracting and it's disrespectful. And
No. Wait.
and I need y'all to go on and get y'all tickets like right now.
Well, okay, I'm gonna have to disagree with that statement, my beautiful one, because people like me think if I wait to the last minute, it'll go on sale. Because if you go to a UK basketball game and that person's got tickets, I'm not saying this is the same thing, and that person's got a ticket, they don't want to eat that ticket.
Mhm.
So they will push the price down. And that's the way the United States is. It's not just Lexington. Because if you go to a Cincinnati Reds game and you wait to the last minute, you may or may not, but that price of that ticket that puts you right on the field is going to be less. And I don't know if that's what people are thinking about. That's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that
After
might be
4 years,
yeah, but
I
four
think,
years, but we tell them.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I just threw it out there because I know that's for a fact. Because, I had some baseball players at Bryant Station and went to a Reds game and they got box seats for $25. And I go, how'd you get box seat? We bought them when the first inning was over.
Wow.
Right? I mean, I'm not saying that's the case, but when they said it to me just 4 or 5 days ago, I went, wow,
Hmm.
I didn't know that. And I didn't know if that's what they were thinking. So anyway, go ahead, babe.
Well, hey, Joanne Pugh, I just want to say good evening to you. Thank you for coming on. And Mr. Brown said he will also be nominating Professor Gerald Smith, a sports historian from Lexington. And we love, is it Dr. Smith?
Yeah.
So much that he was our first MC, wasn't he?
Yes.
Or first speaker at our first gala.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaker at our first gala. Absolutely. Yeah.
Great man. Great man.
So we look forward to matter of fact, I think, wasn't he on the ballot? I think he might have already been on the ballot. But we'll get
He's
him.
been nominated. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been nominated. And so we thank you, Mr. Brown, and we'll definitely be.
Yeah, but that goes back to what Jennifer Jones said. She said that, Lexington's got a lot of talent, a lot of people to do a lot of great things. And you can't put in 100 people every year or 200 people every year. And I guess I don't understand, why don't people understand that you're giving them flowers, and it doesn't matter. I love what Karl Malone said going on the Olympic team. He said, I don't care if I was first. I don't care if I was last. I got the call. And I guess that's the mindset I'm thinking you should have, because it doesn't matter if you go in the first ballot or you go in this ballot or that ballot, you got the call. And I thought when Karl Malone said that the other day, I saw a show and he said, and I was like, I wish people would have that mindset. I don't care.
That's a good way to put it. I'm thinking of, a city the size of Lexington and all the people who played all the sports in all the history of Lexington, in a sports crazy town. If your name is ever called, think of the people who never get that call, who never even get nominated at all, not even considered. So to be in any year, any class, any number would be an honor. But that's my perspective. But I know everyone sees things different.
It's a very good.
I like that perspective too. Like just whenever you can get in. So Joanne also said a thumbs up for the nomination of Dr. Smith. Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So how do we get nominated? How do we nominate people, Mrs. Jones?
Well, you can't just tell somebody that they should be in. You can't just fuss about it and say, "Why ain't so and so in?" You got to do something. You got to do, and it's not a lot of work.
We're not laughing at you. We understand where you come from. Okay. That's a rewind. Say that again
For the people in the back.
for the people in the back. Say that again.
Yeah, that got me all twisted up. You can't just say it. You can't just speak it into existence. You can't just tell
Well,
somebody. You gotta just do a little bit of paperwork. Just a little bit. I'll mail you a nomination form. It's not hard. But we got to have some basic information, and then we take that information and we have to vet that and do
Yeah,
even more research to verify and to make sure everything's above board. And so it's a long process, but we depend on the public. If someone's not been nominated and you think they should, go to our website, laashof.com. Click on the nominations link. You can print it out, you can scan it, you can copy it and email it, however you want to get it back to us. But we don't know everybody. We don't know everybody that ever played any sport in Lexington. We depend on the public to help us out. So you have to nominate someone before we can even consider, as our board chair just mentioned. Thank you, Connie. Yeah, so help us out. If you know somebody needs to be in the Hall of Fame, just fill out. It make 10 minutes, maybe
yeah.
10.
And- and- I'm
and
sorry.
and it's good for 5 years.
Absolutely. That's not
What I'm
asking too
saying,
much.
yeah, hold on. See, again, that's why I'm me. And I'm trying to be where y'all are at. I'm trying. But you made it simple, stupid. It's simple. And I just think it's unbelievable. I mean, I was in Bowling Green, Kentucky a month ago or 2 months ago playing a baseball tournament. And the first thing I did, I called their mayor. And I was like, we got to get this started. And then I called the black leaders of Bowling Green. I did. Because I said, guys, you're missing it. You're missing it. And the way you just said it, I'm sorry, because I mean, we both know we nominate people. And we're very passionate about who we nominate. There's a reason we're supposed to be, if that makes sense. I mean, if you nominate somebody, you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
And with that said, but I'll say that again, with that said, is the way you put that was very simple. And no disrespect using the words simple, stupid, but that's my term. One of the most billionaire men I know, he says it to me every day. He's a billionaire. He said, "Now, I'm just a country boy. Don't use your education on me." So the point he's making is make it simple.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand it. And the way to be nominated to get in Laashof or have an opportunity to get in Laashof is very simple.
Yeah, just go to the website.
Yeah, and we've seen other nomination forms from other Hall of Fame entities, and sometimes they can be complicated. So we purposefully set out to make it as simple as we possibly could, yet still get all the information that we need to at least make a consideration of that person. So everything's
Right.
been done with some forethought and some planning. It's not just willy-nilly. Our selection team, we have some knockdown, drag 'em outs. I mean, we really discussed this.
No, but there's been times.
Woo!
I think the biggest one when we did the face-to-face one at y'all's house,
Oh yeah.
people left not talking. Nobody. Some people left without saying goodbye.
But that just shows how much it means, It shows how much it means to our team, first of all, and then to the community as well. So I'm learning to see things in a broader perspective, in a different light. I really am.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I do promote Laashof to my guests and from other sports venue nationwide on my show, and I love how other people have been impressed with what Laashof has done.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of really was just hoping that just like how we started, that there are a couple. There's only a handful of other African American Hall of Fames across the nation, and we were kind of just hoping that we would be able to be a catalyst for other small cities like Lexington to kind of start their own if they have a large number of athletes like we have. I'm getting ready to do a camp in Florida, and there's a high school, one high school in Fort Lauderdale, in high school that has produced 48 NFL players in just one high school. So I can't imagine like what the rest of the city has as far as just athletes when you have one school that has produced 48 NFL players, and that's just NFL players. I don't know what other athletes they produce as far as any other sports.
Phenomenal, just phenomenal.
Well, I mean, if you take a moment, Lexington does the same thing. They might not do that many, but they do, based on 6 high schools, they produce a lot of great athletes in every sport. You know, cheerleading, basketball, volleyball it's just amazing. And I mean, again, I say it all the time: is this is an unbelievable place. It's an unbelievable sports town. Guys and ladies are doing their thing. They are.
So Jennifer Parks, yeah, if she's already nominated in the last, her nomination should still be good.
Right.
It'll be good. It's good for 5 years. Yeah, it's good for 5 years. And Connie said that we're thankful for the support that we've received, and we'll continue to work and bring awareness to what we are doing, because this is history. And tell us more about the we're 51 minutes in. So I told you I wasn't gonna keep you long.
No, we're keeping it long.
We're not gonna keep you long because we got a game tomorrow.
No, we ain't
So-
got no.
So Miss Jen, tell us more about just the history. Like, you already kind of touched on Douglas and Dunbar, but I don't think people really just understand just what that means. Can you just give us a little bit more detail about that, or why is that important?
Well, the way Lexington was set up back in the day, from just hearing stories from my mom and the little research that I've done, and Mr. Brown probably, his knowledge just blows me away. I've not had the privilege of meeting him, but I'm sure he could add to this. But just from hearing from my mom and other people in the previous generation about their school experience, Lexington was set up with lots of different hamlets, like in the county areas, in the outskirts of the county. And then some people were fortunate to, live and work in the city as well. So if you lived in one of those hamlets, like the Fort Springs and the Little Georgetown and the Frogtown and the Jimtown and the Maddoxtown and Pricetown, and all those little towns, you went most likely to Douglas. That was like the country school. And if you lived within the city limits, you went to Dunbar over on Upper Street. And it was a tremendous rivalry, sports and academics, but both were very, very high achieving schools, nationally known, sometimes nationally ranked in sports and in academic accolades, produced all kinds of civic leaders, educators, scientists, you name it. And they have come out of Lexington's, Old Douglas and Old Dunbar. So I think they both started in the 20s. I think Dunbar was a little bit before Douglas, if I'm not mistaken, but they were funded by a man named Julius Rosenwald. He was an entrepreneur out of Illinois. He helped, he was part of the Sears and Roebuck industry, the family. So he wanted to do something about the lack of educational opportunities for Black children in the South. So he worked with Booker T. Washington, and they went around to these different hamlets, and they worked with the people there, and they donated so much money toward building schools, and they worked, the people and the communities had to raise money, and then sometimes the school districts would also pitch in and raise money as well, or tax money. And before then they just had little wooden schools that on the side of a hill that weren't fit to live in or even learn in, but they did come through and make the educational opportunities a little bit better. And so they both started in the mid to late 20s, and I think Dunbar went on as a high school through 67, and Douglas had very many different forms. It was elementary, junior high, and high school in some forms at some point. Um, so that's how we got to where we are. And then these kids, they all played against each other, and they knew each other from church and from the neighborhood, and it was just a true connected community. And with integration, it had its blessings, but we lost so much, in so many other ways. Just I envy my mom and the experience that she had. And she just said one day out of the blue, she said, I never had a white teacher. And it was like, what?
Yeah.
What? I
Now,
mean,
now
I
it's a luxury
knew
to find a
that.
black teacher.
Yeah, I knew that intellectually, but to hear her say that, it just became so real. Whereas in my experience, and I came, in the midst of integration, it was like I had very few African American teachers.
Right,
So my experience was
absolutely.
just the opposite of hers. So just we lost something. We gained a lot, but we lost a lot too.
Hmm.
When schools were integrated, and our communities now, we used to all live around each other, and we took care of each other, looked out for each other, but it's not quite that same closeness and familiar spirits as it was back in the day.
Well, my question is everybody knows where Dunbar Center is.
I was thinking the same thing.
And
Where was Douglas
where was Douglas at
located?
Fayette County?
Douglas is off of Georgetown Street, not too far from Douglas Park. It's actually on Price Avenue.
Oh,
The
that's
Yeah,
the
it's the senior living now, or assisted, no,
living.
senior living. It's the
Yes.
Farrell Square Apartments now. That's where my mom went to high school.
Well, it's funny you say that because Lonnie Demery,
Hmm.
who and Lonnie was one of my sponsors when I came down here as a freshman from Bowling Green, Kentucky, the Purples, and the thing that he did was what you just said. And be honest with you, I didn't really care. I mean, I'm Bowling Green, I'm High Street, and people didn't understand. If you see Bowling Green on Purples, there's an H. They don't use BG. It's for High Street, which was an all-black school that played against Dunbar, that played against Frederick Douglass. You know what I mean? And that's why Bowling Green High today, you see an H. And
Mm.
people, they were like, why do y'all have an H? They don't use BG. They want, the people in Bowling Green wanted everybody to understand that that was an all-black school that integrated to become the Bowling Green High Purples. And they gave them a unique name so people would pay attention.
Hmm.
They didn't call them the Raiders. They didn't call them what is your team? The Pecker. What's your high school team name?
The Blue Jays. What was you getting ready to say?
I was Coast. I'm
I
just
didn't know where
saying.
you were going, Cisco.
I'm like, what?
Oh, I thought they was like the ice cream. I don't know what your team. So my point is the Blue Jays. Oh, I'm just we got company.
We got company.
We got company. Thank you for taking me, Jim.
Don't be playing about my Blue Jays. Like
No, but the Bowling Green, basically, in a sense, people didn't understand even to this day. That's why they did it, because everybody asks a question. Like Laashof gets people to ask questions. When you ask questions, that's knowledge. People kicking knowledge to you, and so people couldn't understand. How many times do I get? Why are y'all the Purples? That don't make no sense
at all.
Your mascot is a ghost.
Help us make it make
sense. And what it makes sense to me is because it gets you to say, well, it was just a feeling of black and white playing together, education together, black teachers, white teachers. Everything was about unity. And when you are called the Bowling Green High Purples, Jennifer, you're going to ask the same question. The Purples? Then where did H come from? I got that the other day. Why do y'all have an H everywhere on the middle of the field? I said it's for the all black high school, High Street. Now, nobody wouldn't say that unless they asked the question, why you have an H? If we had BG, they would never ask about the H.
It's funny you said that because I was just right before I hopped on, I was looking at a book by Lewis Stout, who was one of our inductees in our second year. And
Yeah.
he wrote a book about
He
the
was,
Kentucky High School Athletic League, that all these black high schools belong to. And High Street is in the book. I mean,
yeah.
there were 50, I think maybe 60 some schools throughout
Yeah,
the
we used to
state.
beat teams. My mom used to tell me we used to beat teams up here in Lexington. I'm just letting you know that.
Well,
Go.
I haven't seen all that, but I'm gonna
That was
let you
in the
have your
book.
moment. I'll let you
That,
have your
that,
moment.
that was that was in the book. Okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah, he wrote a history of all those schools, and because they weren't allowed to play against white schools, and they
Yeah,
weren't sanctioned by the KHSAA, so
not
they
even
formed
close.
their own league and
Yes.
played against each other, and then played. They had like the Bluegrass Athletic League that was like this
Yeah.
area conference. They had a Western something league, and I think there were three conferences in the state. So you played
Wow.
in those conferences, and then if you won that conference, you went on to the state tournament. And if you won the state tournament, you went on to Tennessee State in Nashville for the National Negro High School Tournament. And they had that in not just basketball, but football and track and field and other sports as well. We hear more about football and basketball, but
Right.
we just always found a way to make things work and to make the best out of the situation we're in. And that's what they did back in the 20s when this was founded. It's like we can't do that, but we can do this.
Well,
Mhm.
I need to get that book because I've not read that book, and I so I knew him, great guy. He really was, and I got to know him before he became commissioner.
Yeah.
Of KSFA. I got to know him before because I don't know how our paths uh, crossed through something we both was involved in.
Hmm.
And he was actually one of the mentors in a lot of stuff that I was doing when I got back to Lexington in my late 20s. I mean, he really was. I forget that he actually wrote that book. I remember him talking about it before he wrote it. And then I need to get that. Do you know the name of it? Top of your head?
Oh gosh, shadows. Oh, I don't have it in here with me, but you know what? It's out of print right now. But you know where I got mine? You know how I got mine?
Well,
Mr. Henry Bell. He said, "I've got a book for you that you need to see, and this will explain a whole lot to you." And I was
Well,
just researching something earlier today, and I used that book, and I refer to it quite often.
but I
Shadow
would love, I would,
Past.
well, I mean this to give back to you. Can I borrow it to read it?
Absolutely. Now
I
you got to take
wouldn't
good
let
care
go.
of it. It came from
I
Mr. Henry
wouldn't let go.
Bell. So I don't play about Mr. Henry Bell.
Okay, okay. I wouldn't let it go.
I
Uh,
wouldn't.
you can tell me where to get it. I'll just take it out of her account to go pay for it.
He said,
Check
she
this
said,
out. You can
No,
come to my house. You can come to my house and look at
read it there.
it.
there you go. And sit
Where
on
are
the
you
couch.
going?
Sit
I'm
on the
going.
Yeah.
couch.
I'm going to the Josephs to read the book.
But he
Get
has
your
he has several pages on each of the schools that was in the league, all over the state. And some schools I'd heard of, and some like the Lincoln Institute in Shelby County, of course,
never
Douglas
heard
Dunbar, Danville Bate, which is where Coach Roach went to
of
school,
school. I
um,
never,
Du Bois in Mount Sterling. There
never
was
heard of it.
Richmond High, I think it was in Madison County. I mean, all
Wow.
over the state, all over.
Because you only think when you growing up the way we grew up as black people, just surviving, but enjoying. Because I didn't know that we wasn't rich because we enjoyed life. We went outside, we played, we enjoyed going to the games. The games were packed. People talking a lot, and you didn't know that, and I didn't realize there was a lot of it going on. We talk about this all the time that black people got raised the same way, and we all didn't know each other.
from all over the country.
All over the country. Because she'll say something, I go,
Like,
your mom said that?
like,
too."
how was that possible? And just I don't know. However, we was raised, it was amazing. Now, what I have a question about is why was it important for when you created the Hall of Fame that it had to be the African American and not just the Lexington Hall of Fame?
Good question.
That's a really, really good question. And what we've come to find out in just researching other halls of fame is that sometimes in some of these situations, it comes down to who's at the table and who is there uh, making the nomination, who is on the team, and all those things. And we're all human, we all have our biases and everything, but oftentimes we're not at that table. And sometimes I don't think it's even intentional, but a lot of this stuff they don't know. We don't know. Our generation doesn't know. So they're not going to go necessarily looking for it, but if you present it to them, it might be considered. But, thankful to people like Charles Trumbo, who is on the Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame nominating committee. He has brought a lot of old Douglas, old Dunbar, players to their attention that they had no clue about. I got an email today for someone looking for some information on one of the Dunbar coaches about something they're going to be honoring later on this year. So I think with the exposure that we're giving and, just bringing some of these things to light, people are realizing that there's a whole other history that we have not tapped into. And I think they want to honor. They don't know where to start and they don't know who to look to. So sometimes it was just not knowing. And sometimes it was purposeful, truth be told. Sometimes it was purposeful, but sometimes it was just out of ignorance. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It was
Right.
truly that they did not know. But thankful for old newspapers and like newspapers.com. And I've shared that with you all. And just going back and looking at the wealth of information that's there. And, just our history's there. You just have to keep digging for it. It really is.
Well, I'm going to follow up by using the word ignorant. People got to understand that means lack of information.
Exactly.
That's what the word means, and people take it the wrong way. But my question is, I commend y'all using the term because you're going to rub some people the wrong way when you say African American. When you say Mexican African, and I commend y'all for that because that's had to be in consideration, correct? Okay, we throw that word out there, then it's going to turn off some people that may think the wrong thing. Does that question is feasible?
Definitely. And we kicked around a lot of names. It come to find out the Delaware Hall of Fame is Laashof. It's Dashoff.
Okay.
Theirs is Afro-American. We didn't know that. I think Texas is TBHOF, the Texas Black Sports Hall of Fame, something like that. We didn't know about these names. Bobby and I were just kicking names around. It's like, okay, that looks good on paper. It's like we didn't know that was a thing. That's what they were, how they were abbreviated, or that's what they were called. But and it's really interesting because with all of the DEI, things that are going on now, we've had people to say, you might want to consider changing the name of your organization.
That's what my
And
point was.
that just doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't
You're
sit
right.
well with me at all.
I
That
think
was
with those rollbacks and even how I think they're almost at the point of almost shutting down the African American
yes,
History Museum at the Smithsonian, and I think this makes it even more important to have it because otherwise, how else will we have this history?
exactly. When we're losing it day by
And
day, we're losing
day by
it.
day. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm about to do what I normally do, and get your hand off of me. I'm about to do what I normally do is I usually leave at this time. And if you haven't watched the show at the end, it's because I always thank my wife for allowing me to come on her show, and I let her finish her show. And y'all can't see, but she'll grab my leg and say, "No, we're good." But I do that for the love that she's put in this show, and the same thing, the love and respect that y'all put in the Laashof. I respect it, and thank you for coming on. I really mean that. I hope people that even if they're not timing in, we get a lot of people listening to the show. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, like, oh, you heard the show?
Yeah, because we'll look at the numbers right now, and it looks like nobody's on. But then later on, it'll have hundreds and hundreds of
people,
views on it.
Yeah, and we don't get serious very often, but this right here is serious. And even like donations, I mean, to support it. It doesn't, nothing you do in the United States supports yourself without money. Let's not get it twisted. And this is not a point of soliciting money. It is the first class, it comes with a price. And we say that at Crawford. Mm-hmm. We tell our parents that we're first class. It's because, we have to pay this. We got to do this. We got to do this. And when you want first class, you don't care. And you give what you can. So, but again, to yourself, thank you, Bobby. And I always say, Connie, that y'all threesome is amazing, and everybody else that's underneath that follows y'all's lead. We love you. Thank you for coming on Hits and Heels, and Terri will end the show with just you and her. Okay.
Well, don't leave yet. Hold on. We appreciate you all, and because we can't do this by ourselves, there's no way. We appreciate all of everyone's volunteering. Nobody's paid. This is all out of love for Lexington. That boy don't pay me a dime, Cisco. Working me like a Hebrew slave. Don't pay me.
Hey, I just thought the check was late. I just thought the check was coming.
So sorry.
Well, I love you. Love Bobby, Connie, and everybody on the committee. Be blessed, okay?
We love you too, Cisco. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you got us as Kelly. Yes, that's crazy. And they're trying to erase. That's why I was just talking about. She's in D.C. and she said they're trying to erase their history there.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can pull you up here since it's just me and you now.
All right, then.
So I think first of all, thank you, because Cisco and I are red carpet hosts again.
Yes.
And luckily there's no game that day, so we are so excited.
That worked out. And you all know, you're in the trenches. You know these people. You're out there. They know you all, and they're going to be more comfortable with you all. And Ozon Mitchell as well. Ozon's another very, very valuable member of the team.
Our guy.
Absolutely, very knowledgeable. It has just a passion, and you're not going to stick with Laashof if you're not passionate about what we're doing, because it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and people definitely don't understand. And you definitely have to have a passion for it. Yes, kind of teamwork definitely makes the dream work. Yes,
absolutely.
So, so Cisco mentioned some, just the fundraising part of that, and so Laashof has an opportunity to do some fundraising at some of the Kentucky games. So if there's anybody that's out there that wants to come and hang out with us during the game and fellowship, I mean, we're putting in a little bit of work. Don't get us wrong, but it's still going to be fun. Of course, we're going to be in the stands watching our son, and so I hate that we're not going to be in the concession stand, but we'll definitely be coming through to say hello to those in the concession stands at the UK games this in a couple weeks, in 10 days, as a matter of fact. We're going to get that posted, but we should be at some of the girls' games and maybe some of the other sports and stuff like that. We'll make sure that, we could use a couple more people just to come out and give us some of that elbow grease to help us to do what we do. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I've never worked concessions before, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it work.
A lot of work. but it's
Yeah.
going to be totally just worth it.
Yeah.
And plus you get an opportunity to meet people that, like any other time, to meet other people that you don't normally get to meet, just on a daily day, regular basis. So that's gonna be, it's still gonna be fun. It's still gonna be fun.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
so Jennifer, what we gonna wrap this up. What is the legacy of Laashof look like for you?
Hmm. The legacy of Laashof. I want generations in the future to know that there was a group of people that loved Lexington and Lexington's people enough to put in the work, to put in the research, to put in the time to honor um, people in the sports world. And not that other, areas aren't worthy of honor. And we've even discussed, there are people in education, civic leaders, music, theater, all kinds of greatness has come through Lexington. This is just one small portion, but it had to be started somewhere. So just for future generations to know how important it is to preserve our history, remember folks who paved the way for you to do what you do, and then honor them, and then that will return to you in so many other ways. We get the blessing, we get the blessing. So just blessed to be a blessing, and blessed to be able to work with a great group of people with one mind, truly one mind, one purpose, one spirit, um, to do something that blesses other people. That's all we wanted to do.
I love it. I love it. Yes, Connie, buy a concession item from our. Oh, if y'all go to the game, make sure y'all look for the concession stand for Laashof and buy y'all's concessions from our stand at the game. Often, how it's delivered because of ignorance by those at the other table. It is the
That's
ignorance for us,
true.
but we're not worried about them. I love the fact that we created our own table.
Exactly.
If y'all not gonna let us have a seat at the table, we'll just create our own table. And I think that that's what I love about it. And working with Laashof has, I did the same thing with you, Jennifer. I came out of my comfort zone more as far as just advocating for women's sports and girls sports and stuff like that. And I think most of that inspiration for me came from working with Laashof and seeing y'all see a vision and then making it happen. And I don't know if I can even put into words how much I am so thankful of just that inspiration from that, because I'm doing things that I never would have dreamed that I would do because of the inspiration from Laashof and seeing what the impact of sports can have on people's lives. And it's just, there's no words. There's absolutely no words that I can put into place that can really describe that. So my last question for you is there anything, I know I asked this 2 years ago, that you have not been able to say publicly? Because now we're 4 years in, so things are a little different, that you would like to say closing words, or that you haven't been able to say, or maybe that if you were on a stage, you may not necessarily say it on the stage at Laashof, but you have an opportunity to say it right here.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough because we've been blessed to have many opportunities to express, what we're trying to do, why we're doing it, and how appreciative we are of all the help that we have. But we just need for Lexington just to support what we're trying to do. It's for our community. This doesn't belong to us. This is for our community. And, if we don't rally around ourselves and support ourselves, who will? It's like that adage, if you don't love yourself, nobody else is going to love you either. And that's a true statement. So it's like we have to love this, and we need Lexington to buy into what we're doing and really get behind not just our organization, but other organizations where people are really trying to do something positive, setting good examples for our kids. And just, there are going to be some naysayers, and that's okay. But, don't speak on what you don't know. Don't speak on what you don't know. Go to the source or sources and find out. Ask questions. Why is this or why hasn't this? Rather than just, making your own assumption. But the
Mhm.
negativity just detracts from the positivity that we're trying to be a light in the community. That's all. We just want to be a light in the community and be a blessing to somebody. So don't dim the light. Bring your light to our light and it shines brighter. Make a bigger, brighter light. It's really simple.
I, there needs to be a class on what support looks like. Our community is the worst when it comes to that, and I think I don't know what the answer to that is. I do think that Laashof is definitely a catalyst to this is what it looks like to support each other in
Mhm.
our community, and I hope that we are a pillar to that. Like, you know what? Let's do things the way Laashof does it. They do things first class. They are very inclusive. We just because we're the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame doesn't mean that someone that's not African American has not been inducted into our Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
We're still inclusive, even though it has African American in the name, and then that's just how you just invoke change in the community and in the world, especially in this day and age when things are being pulled from us, and things are being intentionally taken back from us that we've worked hard for in the past. So Jen, thank you so much for coming on. You're one of my most favorite people in the whole world. Ever since I've met you from day one, I've been in love with you and Bobby, and I have definitely been one of y'all's biggest supporters as far as anything when it comes to Laashof, just because of how much sports has played in my life. And I love just being able to give people flowers when flowers are due. So thank you again for y'all's vision. Thank you for your execution. Thank you for just your belief in Sister Jones. You favor Michelle Obama at a glance. You got that. You get that a lot, don't you?
Uh, Several times a day. Yeah. I receive it though. I love me some Michelle. I love Michelle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Kelly, this generation, these times are so different from when we were coming up. Yeah, absolutely, just so different. And yes. So, Mr. Brown, Connie, thank you for coming on. Kelly, thank you for your involvement. And Mr. Brown, thank you for coming on. Stacy, if you're still on, thank you for coming on. And there's anybody else that come on and watch this on the replay, I'm just going to invite you to please come out. Go get you a new little outfit. Go get your hair, your nails done, and come on out to the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame Gala, our 4th annual one on September the 20th. And come see Cisco and I on the red carpet. Our guy Ozon is going to be there as well. And then I think I'm going to make my way to the stage again, and I'm looking forward to presenting to my girl Erica and Michi and Coach Haskins and Coach Sanford and a lot of other people that we're actually really great friends with, and looking forward to their induction into the Hall of Fame on September the 20th. Go to laashof.com, get your tickets right now. Y'all got 10 days before the prices of them. I think they go up like $50. It's not like a $5 increase. I think it's like a $50 increase
Well,
if
it's
y'all wait
25.
until
Yeah,
25. Oh,
25.
25. That's still significant,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
if you're bringing a plus one, or you're looking to get a table. It's actually cheaper to get a table of 10 if you get 10 of y'all together. And somebody just pulls the money together. It's actually cheaper to get a table of 10, and now all y'all can sit together. The food is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's been great every time. You're going to get entertained. You're going to see each other. It's going to be like a family reunion, and it is an absolute great time and a great example of what Black excellence looks like in the city of Lexington, Kentucky. And that's
Thank
all
you.
I got.
Thank you.
How's
Thank
that, Jen?
you. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Well, Jen, I'm in this show. Don't you log up? Oh, and Kelly Collins, yes, great, and can't wait till September 2nd. So September 2nd, y'all, I'm bringing back. I'm teaming up with my girl Kelly on here. She's a Cowboys fan, and my other favorite Cowboys fan, Tiffany Roderick, and we're gonna do a commentary about the Dallas Cowboys, because they are a hot mess all the time, but we love them anyway. So you get ready to hear that from a female's point of view. So next week, look forward to Dermoni Dawson. The week after that, tune back in. We're going to have two great Laashof legends and Lexington legends coming in the next, actually up until the Gala. You're going to see and hear from some great legends from right here in Lexington, Kentucky, that should be nationwide names. So we'll see y'all, and we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.
Yes,
See ya.
ma'am.